What if everything you believe about your salvation could change in a single moment? What if someone who truly believed in God could still fall away? Or what if that's impossible? This question has divided Christians for centuries, and the answer isn't as simple as you might think. Welcome to Sacred Questions, a place where we explore the hardest, most uncomfortable questions about faith, God, and the Bible. Today's question is one that hits deep. Can someone lose their salvation? Once you're saved, are you saved forever? Or is it possible to walk away from God and lose everything? Let us take a moment to explore this further. This isn't just a theological debate, and this is a deeply and uniquely personal matter. Because if salvation can be lost, then your relationship with God might feel fragile, uncertain. But if it can't be lost, then what do we do with people who seem to fall away? People who once believed, served, worshipped, and then walked away. Were they never saved, or did they lose it? One major perspective says, if you are truly saved, you can never lose your salvation. This belief is often associated with thinkers like John Calvin and is central to what's sometimes called eternal security. The idea is simple. If salvation is a gift from God, not something you earn, then you also can't lose it by your own failure. Supporters often point to verses like, "No one can snatch them out of my hand. Nothing can separate us from the love of God." From this view, if someone falls away, it doesn't mean they lost salvation. It means they were never truly saved to begin with. Their faith wasn't genuine. That can feel reassuring, but also unsettling, because it raises a difficult question. How can anyone be sure their faith is real? Another perspective says, yes, salvation is a gift, but humans still have free will. And just as someone can choose to follow God, they can also choose to walk away. This view is often linked to thinkers like Jacobus Arminius. Supporters point to passages like Hebrews 6:4-6, which describes people who have tasted the heavenly gift and then fall away. 2 Peter 2:20-21, which speaks of those who escape sin, but return to it. These verses seem to suggest that falling away is not just theoretical, but real. In this view, salvation isn't something God takes away. It's something a person can abandon. Not easily, not casually, but genuinely. And that raises another uncomfortable question. If that's true, how secure is anyone? At the heart of this debate is a deeper tension. How do we reconcile God's power with human freedom? If God truly saves, shouldn't that salvation be permanent? But if love must be freely chosen, doesn't that include the freedom to leave? Even early thinkers like Augustine of Hippo wrestled with this tension. Is faith something God sustains no matter what, or something we must continue to choose? There's no easy answer, and maybe that's the point. Let's be honest for a moment. This question often comes from fear. What if I mess up too badly? What if I drift away? What if I'm not really saved? But notice something. The Bible doesn't just warn, it also reassures. It calls people to remain in faith, but also reminds them that God is faithful. So maybe the question isn't just, can salvation be lost? Maybe it's also, what kind of relationship does God want with us? One based on fear or trust? Here's something worth thinking about. Both sides of this debate are trying to protect something important. One protects the power of God's grace. The other protects the reality of human choice. Because faith isn't just a one-time decision. It's about an ongoing relationship. A relationship that involves trust, commitment, and yes, sometimes struggle. So instead of asking, can I lose my salvation? Maybe a better question is, am I walking with God right now? This is a difficult question, and there's no universal agreement. But that's what Sacred Questions is all about. Exploring the tension, without ignoring the truth. So, what do you think? Can someone lose their salvation, or is it secure forever? Let me know in the comments. I read everyone. And if you're searching for honest, thoughtful conversations about faith, subscribe to Sacred Questions. Because sometimes, the deepest faith begins with the hardest questions.